dust finally settled on the battlefield of the water well, I found myself standing in a very quiet place. For years, my energy had been poured into fighting, defending, and surviving. But once the water was finally flowing, the silence that followed wasn't empty. It was a blank canvas. I realized I didn't want to carry the weight of those legal ghosts anymore. I wanted to create, and as it turned out, the very earth I had fought so hard for had the answer. It was clay. They say pottery is a lesson in letting go. You take a piece of mud, center it, and try to guide it into something beautiful. If you force it too hard, it collapses. If you aren't strong enough, it wobbles out of control. It was the exact therapy my soul needed. But when I decided to dive headfirst into the ceramic journey, I didn't have a fancy studio. I didn't have the big budget. What I had was a community, a bit of luck, and a very heavy, very dusty piece of history. Enter the Cress. It was gifted to me, a massive, beautiful monster of a kiln. But there was a catch. This wasn't a modern plug-and-play digital machine. It was a 22-year-old Cress ET27-240 that had seen its fair share of life. It had been sitting silent and stubborn, waiting for someone crazy enough to bring it back to life. When we first got it wired up, it had a mind of its own. It was overfiring, refusing to hold a steady temperature, and threatening to melt my hard work into puddles of glass. A lot of people would have looked at the 22-year-old mechanical relic and thrown in the towel. But homesteaders don't throw in towels, we fix things. We ordered new heating elements, swapped out the old relays, and rewired the connections, and held our breath. The first time it fired perfectly to temperature, clicking away like a steady heartbeat, I knew we had won. We hadn't just repaired a piece of equipment, we had built the literal fiery heart of our new creative life. The days of fighting for water were replaced with long, quiet hours of shaping into clay. I started pushing myself to see what this earth could do, from functional mugs to intricate hand-built creations like tabletop fountains and sea-themed serving platters. And then came the glazes. If clay is the body, glaze is the soul. I became a mad scientist in the studio, letting colors like deep ocean greens and warm woodland browns melt and run together in the heat of the Cress. Every time I opened that kiln lid, it was like Christmas morning. You never truly know what the fire has gifted you until the bricks cool down. Looking back, I realized the water battle and the pottery studio were really the same story. It's a story about looking at dry, stubborn desert land and believing it can bloom. It's about taking something broken, whether it's a legal situation, a patch of dirt, or a 22-year-old mechanical kiln, and having the grit to fix it. Today, this homestead isn't just a place where we survive, it's a place where we thrive. The mobile showroom is packed with finished pieces, students gather around the wheels to learn, and every drop of water that flows here is a reminder of the promises kept. Thank you for walking this long road with me through parts 1, 2, and 3. From the courtrooms to the clay, we built this oasis together. And if there's one thing this dirt has taught me, it's this. Never underestimate what can grow when you refuse to give up. Until next time, keep creating.